Good evening, everyone. Once again, my name's Leah Secondo, and on behalf of Dr. Lars Hafner, Matt Ennis, the State College of Florida Athletics, and everyone here at the college, it is my honor tonight to welcome you to the 2012 Athletic Hall of Fame ceremony. I'm really honored to be a part of this event this evening. Inductees, I'm sure that in those long days that you were out, whether it was on the field or on the courts, you never imagined that you'd be sitting here tonight. And thinking about it is probably pretty overwhelming. I know it's probably pretty special for the volleyball team. Many of you haven't seen each other in a while, and just catching up and looking at the pictures here of all the big hair back then is probably something you'd rather forget, but quite an accomplishment, and I'm sure you're all glad to be together. And of course, Mac and Pat, your friendship that you built during your time here is always very special, and it sounds like it's carried through your lives today, and that's always a great feeling to be able to share with your families as well. No question, this call this evening to the Hall of Fame to join the 19 other Hall of Famers is truly special and is full of memories. And I'm sure that you will enjoy hearing the speakers come up tonight just as much as I enjoyed researching for tonight's event. You've all left a very tremendous impact on your teammates, the competition, and the school. And honestly, to the many people you don't even realize that you impacted, whether it's folks that researched you, or maybe a youngster who went to your baseball games, or a young girl who went to your volleyball games. I learned just yesterday that Pat and Mac, their pictures of them together as a teammate actually sits on the mantle of Coach Wynn's grandchildren's house. So you've impacted two youngsters that probably never saw you play. They're only seniors in high school, but you've impacted youngsters like that. And for the women of the volleyball team, certainly your impact on girls and women in sports is immeasurable, and you certainly are all trailblazers in what you've accomplished. To be honored by your school, and especially a school with such great tradition, is really outstanding, and congratulations, you just have carried on that tradition. There are many inductees, former inductees, now Hall of Famers in the audience tonight, and I would appreciate if you would stand and be recognized. Dr. Stephen Korchak, Coach Robert C. Wynn, Coach Sandy Holloman, Coach Tim Hill Sr., Harry Canan, George Sanders, Nick Catharo, and John O'Connor. Welcome back. We'd also like to recognize the college community tonight. Intercollegiate Athletic Committee Chair Herschel Johnson. Don't be shy, Herschel. Dr. Michael Mears, Vice President of the Baccalaureate Program. And Mrs. Lori Moran, Board of Trustees member. It is my pleasure now to welcome to the stage Dr. Lars Hafner. Nice to meet you, Dr.
Thank you. It's another great evening here at the State College of Florida, and I just want to welcome each and every one of you for attending tonight, whether you are currently employed or a student here at the college, or whether you have been part of our outstanding tradition and are back tonight for this particular event and hopefully the athletic events that will take place here tomorrow. You know, the one great thing about this college is that it has been a college that has had a strong legacy and tradition for a very long time. Whether it was Manatee Junior College, Manatee Community College, or State College of Florida, the things that we have kept intact tell our story best. And those two things are the fact that we are a great academic institution, and we like to brag on the fact that our graduates, when they leave here, and this is part of our tradition, when they leave our college, and transfer to a university, the statistics prove out that our students perform better at the 4-year level than those native students who started with the university. And that speaks volumes about our faculty, our staff, our administrators, and not just the current ones, but the ones that have been part of this 55-year history. It's great to be able to brag about our academics. We're very proud of that. But running close second is the great tradition of athletics, because athletics and academics can go hand in hand. And this school certainly has that reputation. The GPAs of our student athletes are outstanding. We continually work at getting better so that we have winners both on the playing field and in the classroom and at graduation. And that's part of the great tradition of being here. You know, some of you may know that I spent 22 years at St. Petersburg Junior College, then St. Petersburg College, and my first interaction with Manatee Junior College was when I came down here to play basketball against Coach Canan and his great teams that he used to coach. And seeing at that point in time who was up in the stands, seeing how those players interacted together, you knew right from then it was a family down here. And led a lot by Dr. Korchak, who was the president at the time that I happened to be a player up in St. Pete. And he has helped mold this college, as has everyone that's come before. Those of us that are actively employed here now has set that foundation to let us go further. As you know, just the other day, we made the transitional announcement for our men's baseball coach and anointing Tim Hill II, the coach in waiting, to take over from his dad next year. Another great move by this institution that allows a great tradition to continue on. I was just sharing with Dr. Korchak and his wife that it's interesting, since I've been here, and I've only been here for about 3.5 years now, I've had the great pleasure to replace every coach. It may not have been the pleasure for those coaches to have moved on, no. Let me back up. Let me just say, I've had the opportunity, and therefore a pleasure, to actually hire every coach in our athletic department except for Meredith, who came the year before I was here, and that was already a great hire, so there's no reason to make any moves there, of course. And the one thing that I had to keep in mind in making those transitional changes is the fabulous traditions. How do you follow the Harry Canans? How do you follow the Steve Korchaks? How do you follow the Tim Hills? Well, you do it by replacing them with people of integrity, quality, and a commitment to family. And I think tonight, once again, this Hall of Fame dinner demonstrates that family. And let me say that this could not happen without having a great, fabulous, precious athletic director in Matt Ennis. That was the one other thing I was able to do since being here, is actually hire Matt as the athletic director to run the department. The continuity, the leadership, the organization that he puts on top of that athletic department gives me as a president, and Steve knows this very well as a president, athletics can succeed, but it can also get a president in trouble if they're not successful. So you've got to have great leadership at the top. And Matt brings that to the State College of Florida Manatees. And it's something that as president I can be confident in, that we're going to continue to carry on the legacy, carry on the tradition, be great student athletes, and come away from this school with memories. Because I can tell you, there are not a lot of junior colleges in this state, or perhaps even this country, that could run an event like tonight and bring back the types of people that are here in this room. Because a lot of times when people leave JUCOs, they go on and their loyalties are strong to the university of which they go to, and they don't remember what it was that gave them the foundation. But by your presence here tonight, there's no question that you remember, and you remember well. And in talking to some of you that have come back tonight to see the campus for the first time and says, wow, how great this place is. Well, remember, this place is about the people, and I can tell you it's the same character, same integrity people that were here when you were here. So I say welcome. I hope you participate. Hope you enjoy this evening, but participate in tomorrow's athletic events. It's going to be a great day, and please keep following the Manatees as we've got we got 4 sports going now in the spring, and we hope to win state championships, national championships, and let everybody in the country know how good we are. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Doctor. The point guard has to lower the mic back down again. At this time, I would like to welcome Matt Ennis, the athletic director for State College of Florida.
They joked that I would lose this speech, and I think I might have. Now, here it is. I am precious, thank you. And you can print that. Oh, Jason's gone. I do want to say a few thank yous before I move into my part of it. We have an amazing athletic staff here, and they work very hard throughout the year. They work very hard to put all of this together. And I want to recognize Brian, Wanda, and Laura. And if you haven't met Laura, she's our new athletic trainer. She's outstanding. But thank you guys for everything you do. Right now, there's one more who's wondering what about me. We'll get to her. I want to thank Roland Emerton. Roland, stand up, please. Roland's from our foundation and really supports the heck out of us, especially in this event. We really couldn't do what we're doing without him. And there's one staff member that just has to be recognized for everything that she did. And Meredith Headings, if you'll stand up, please. I think everybody had a chance to speak with Meredith throughout this as she organized this entire presentation tonight, and I thank her very much for doing that. And I think this is one of the greatest nights that we have as a college, and she's done a wonderful job. 2 other folks that I want to thank you, and I think this thank you is probably the most important. One of them couldn't be with us. He had another obligation. The other is here with us, George Sanders. And I want to thank George and Ryan Moore. They had a vision, they had an idea, and they brought the vision of the Hall of Fame together when we had our first class inducted in 2006. And if it wasn't for them driving forward, we wouldn't be here tonight recognizing our 2012 class. So thank you very much, George and Ryan. Yeah, I've thought a bit about trying to describe what the Hall of Fame is to everybody. We're here. We know we're here to recognize some wonderful individuals. And I go back to my first few years here. There was a few slogans, if you will, that I saw throughout the athletic department. And being the new eyes, a few of them caught my attention. And what I've learned is through the years, they've meant different things. And there was one in the baseball locker room that said the tradition continues. And I thought about that for tonight. What does that really mean? And how powerful that is. And Dr. Hafner spoke about our tradition. And the Hall of Fame embodies tradition. For the tradition to continue, someone had to establish it. And I think our Hall of Fame members are those founding members that have established our tradition. The Hall of Fame members are the folks that have continued that tradition and exemplified what it means to be a student athlete here at our college. And I think the intent of the Hall of Fame, and I think we would all agree, is to honor those that have brought prestige to our great institution through their individual and team academic and athletic efforts. And we are thankful for those that did that. And the tradition that we have is due to the blood, sweat, and tears of so many folks, so many coaches, so many student athletes and administrators. And I think that's the intention of the Hall of Fame. Nominations for our Hall of Fame are open for anyone to make. Typically it's Hall of Famers who recognize other student athletes or coaches or administrators and feel that they've rendered extraordinary service to our college. Then our system is that we have a 13-member committee who evaluates all of those folks that have been nominated and then tries to, very difficult task of trying to choose the best. And as you all know, sitting in this room, we have a lot of wonderful folks to choose from, and it's definitely a challenge for our committee to do that. So in closing, I just want to congratulate the folks that are being inducted into the class of 2012. We're truly thankful for your service to our college, and we are honored that you have joined us tonight. And thank you. Quite frankly, you've earned it, and we appreciate the prestige you've brought to our program. Thank you.
Just so you understand the process that'll go on here, after I am done with the reading, our inductees will read. There will be a brief moment afterwards where they will be taking some pictures. So if you have cameras and would like to come up at that time, that would probably be the best opportunity for you to get pictures all together. Pat Osburn, if you could come up and join me up front here. Not coming out of any bullpen or anywhere tonight. You're making a start tonight.
Well, I made some notes here, so
Okay.
if I start rambling, just give me that.
Pat played for Hall of Fame coach Robert C. Wynn, 68 and 69 seasons, and he helped the team to a 10-1 record, a state championship in 69. He had a .74 ERA. 6'4" lefty pitcher. Osburn earned all-conference and all-state honors as pitcher of the year. He also added to his mantle JUCO All-American Award, and he would sign it with Florida State. Drafted by the Cincinnati Reds in the first round, the 9th pick of the 1970 draft, Pat played with the Reds organization for 4 seasons, and he also spent time with the Milwaukee Brewers and the Kansas City Royals. I had the opportunity yesterday to speak with Coach Wynn at length, and I really enjoyed our conversation on the phone. He told me that there was never a time when Pat would make a start when he didn't have butterflies. Always had butterflies throughout his career. And it was all in part with just getting ready to execute, and as Coach Wynn says, that fat boy attitude. I wish I could say with the drawl like you said it yesterday, because it had a little more of an impact. Fat boy attitude. Okay. The further along he went in the game, the tougher he got. And every time he towed the rubber, he had that toughness. And he said it definitely has taken Pat into his world and his career, his business career today. Please welcome our first inductee, Pat Osburn.
I want to say thank you first and foremost to State College of Florida for this unbelievable honor. I was so excited when Matt first called me. I was sort of stunned, reason being I only played 1 year here, and a lot of people that I'm competing against to go in to get such an honor have played here 2 years. So it was unexpected and quite honored. So happy that my family could be here tonight, my friends, extended family. Thank you all so much for coming. It means a lot to me. I want to tell you sort of how 2 events put me sort of here tonight. The first one, I was playing summer baseball up in the Cape Cod League. I was looking for a school to transfer to for my sophomore year, and my mother called Skip, Coach Wynn. And I guess she was persuasive, I should say, in the fact that Skip said, yes, come on. Well, in looking back now, I think there's a guy, he had coached the team the year before, 2nd in the nation. They had coming back, the #1 pitcher, 10-0, left-handed pitcher. Had Mac coming out of the bullpen, best relief pitcher probably in the state of Florida. had another right-hander by the name of Mike Magnus, a very hard thrower, ton of potential. And then a fourth boy, the best pitcher probably coming out of Richmond, Virginia that year, Willie Collins. So when I first stepped on campus in that first fall practice, I went out there and I went, wow, we got talent. And we did. We had a virtual all-star at just about every position. So pitching wasn't quite as hard as it seemed, because all you had to do was get out there and throw a few innings, and we were going to field and run and hit, and we were going to win the game, and it usually worked out like that. One of the things I noticed when I came to the first practice, obvious the talent was outstanding, but that I'd always played in programs where I felt like we were organized, I felt like we were disciplined. But when we stepped on campus and Skip put us into his organization and his discipline, you could feel it. Not that we didn't have fun, and I'm sure there was some things that Skip would probably not care to talk about, but we had times. But what I'm saying is, when we were on the field, we had organization, we had discipline from the top down, and I think it helped everybody become a better player. So, Skip, I appreciate that so much. Looking back now, I didn't know how important that was, though, but every day that you come out to do a job, to be organized and be disciplined, to follow through, it makes a difference, I can tell you. So I knew we had a very solid structure to go on. Now, I told you there was two events that got me to here. The first event was my mother calling Skip and him agreeing to me coming to school. The second was a little bit tragic in the fact that fall, as we were finishing fall practice, 3 of our players went to Tallahassee to watch a football game. Tallahassee, that night, they played a night game and they were driving back. It was late, fell asleep at the wheel, had a bad accident. It was Robin Flake, Mike Magnus, and Ron Cash. They all were hospitalized. The car, you would think, how did anybody walk away from it? Robin never recovered to the level of pitcher he was before. For that year, and even the next year when we went to Florida State, never the same. And to his credit, I never heard that man, or that boy at the time, never said, boy, I got a bad break. You know, if I hadn't have been hurt, I could have done this and such. And I didn't think about it then, but as the years has passed and I look back, I think he was way ahead of his time as far as being, and I think some of the discipline that you gave him may have helped him in that regard to know, hey, maybe I'm not going to make a baseball career, but I'm going to have something else that I can do because I've got discipline and organization. That's sort of a side note about Robin, but I know he would have had a pro career had that accident not happened. But that accident, Mike never pitched the whole season. Robin, like I said, was just sort of a shadow of what he could do before. It allowed me that opportunity to step forward, and I had a great year. And I always think back, that team, we were 33-11, our record. If Mike and Robin would have been there, Skip, I don't know if we would have lost the game. Certainly we wouldn't have lost more than a handful. Talk about tradition. See Nick here, see Coach Moats, David Moats before me. They set a groundwork, and the many years of when I got here, David, you went to the World Series the year before I got here. And man, did I wish very much we could have gone that next year. It didn't work out. Team from Georgia beat us, but that was the kind of tradition that was set before I ever got here. And that same tradition carries on today. So you got pressure, number 2. The year that's been here, obviously great for me playing baseball. But lifelong friends, Mac and I have been friends for 40 years now. I was telling Leah, we communicate all the time, probably a few too many emails back and forth. It's too convenient. We get pulled up to the modern age, and we take advantage of that. But Johnny Grubb, Harry Saferight, Ashby Frazier, Jim Petty, you could go right down the line, and all of them, if they were here tonight, I feel like we would start out just like, hey, it was the third game of the season, here we're back at school. So it was a fantastic experience for me. I thank the State Florida College again for this great, great honor, and I appreciate all of you being here tonight. Thank you.
If I could ask the women's volleyball team to join me. Come on, Coach. There we go.
Did you hear that?
Being short, I know, I've dealt with that all my life, Coach. That's why I have heels on tonight. Coached by Hall of Famer herself, Sandy Holloman, the 88 team is largely regarded the best volleyball team to ever play here on campus. A 40-3 record, the team won the state title and finished third in the nation. This was a very youthful team from what I understand, and Coach Holloman tells me that the team chemistry was outstanding. At the beginning of the season, Coach tells me that All-American honorable mention Lisa Page told her teammates that she didn't want to be a participant just on another good team here at the college. She wanted to be the very best. And well, that team followed in the footsteps all the way to the end. Joining Page, Sherry Laurie, first team All-American, Becky Thyssen, Leanne Justice, Monica Gray, Kelly Waterman, and if I've forgotten any of you that are standing here with me tonight, I apologize. It is my honor to now welcome the first team ever to be inducted here at the college, the 88 women's volleyball team.
Just get up and give these ladies a great hand. They were just awesome, and we just appreciated all the support that we had all the years. The parents, give the parents a great hand, because if we didn't have those parents, we don't have these kids. Stand up, parents. They're here. Stand up, parents. Stand up. There we go. Here we go. Stand up. And the children, husbands, children, you need to stand up. Let these people see who you are, because this is what it's all about, folks. These people go out into the community. They represent us to the utmost. And I could not be more proud. Okay? So, Lisa, what do you do now?
Well, I actually have a funny story. I'm actually a math teacher. But it's because of Coach Holloman that I became a math teacher. She anointed me as the math tutor, specifically for Kelly Waterman.
Because if we didn't have Kelly, she would be ineligible.
We were one day away from leaving for the state tournament, and Coach said, you better get her to pass this exam. And so she said, you are now the math tutor, and whatever you have to do, you will tutor Kelly. So I went away to Troy after I left State College of Florida, and I said, I am not taking another math class. I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it, and I teach math for a living. And then I saw most of this campus by pure punishment, because we ran a lot under Coach Holloman. We constantly ran for fun and for various infractions that we may have done. And so, again, I left here and said I will never run again, and I now run marathons and thank Coach, because now I can actually enjoy it. But I remember every inch of this campus just cursing Coach. I hate this place, but there's something about running now. I always look back on Coach Holloman. Obviously, Kelly was eligible. We were able to go to the state tournament and obviously did quite well. to, go ahead, Cal. Kelly told me she can't speak because she'll cry.
Kelly's now working with Nick Bollettieri over at, is it IMG? IMG. So she's over there with all those athletes. So she really does a lot back here in the community because she sees all these people that come in from all these different countries and whatever. And she just does a great job here in the community. And Kelly is also actually just one of the kids that has always kept us together. I mean, Kelly and I guess we got connected at the hip way back when, Kelly, right? So anyway, these are my girls, and I am so proud of them. Monica went on to play, you didn't play sports after, did you play at UNA? Did you play at North Alabama? Okay, so, you know, I'm old, I don't remember a lot of stuff. So tell us a little bit about what you do now, Monica.
I'm a nurse. I've been a nurse for 16 years, and I deliver babies, and I love my job, and I have 3 beautiful children, and I just am very thankful for the foundation that Coach Holloman gave us, and just love her to death, and she was so wonderful with us, and I'm just so happy to be back, and such an honor.
Great. And Leanne Justice, the one really thing that I remember about Leanne, it was like Leanne and Becky were over at UCF. And the coach over there called me and she said, I've got 2 girls I need you to take on your team. And I'm thinking, why are you sending me 2 kids from your team? I mean, you know, you need these people. Thank you, Lord, for sending us Becky Thyssen and Leanne Justice. Because Becky, she was All-American. We ended up moving her from an outside hitter to a middle and just did an outstanding job. And Leanne, she had knee surgery and wore a brace, but let me tell you, what a player. And the really big thing about Leanne, when she stepped to the back line to serve the volleyball, you didn't have to worry about it because it was going in. She was one of those, what was it, the Ivory commercial, 99, 44, 100% pure, Leanne Justice. Come on, Leanne, tell us what you do today.
Well, like Coach Holloman said, Becky and I were actually walk-ons at UCF, but I guess fortunately we didn't make the team. But they set up the tryout, or the assistant coach set up the tryout for Becky and I here. And that was the first time I had stepped foot or even knew about Manatee Community College at the time. And I'll never forget the day we came down for our tryout, our assistant coach from UCF drove us all the way from Orlando, and she loved her break. And from Orlando all the way to here to Braden, it was like this. And by the time I got here, I was car sick. But fortunately, it didn't affect our tryout. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they offered both of us full scholarships before we left that day. So I'm very grateful for that.
Thank you.
And we had a storybook season.
Yes, we did.
I mean, it was like a David and Goliath. Going up against Miami-Dade South a few times that season. And it was very memorable. It was one of my favorite times, my favorite teams. We had a great chemistry, and it was just there. It's like being in the zone all season. So thank you very much.
Tell them what you do these days.
I am a budget director for USF Health in Tampa, and I've been there for about 15 years now.
Pretty awesome group of young ladies, and I'm sure if we had all 16 here, you would hear all great stories about where they are back in the community. And it was a special year, and thank you ladies so much, and it's great memories for me all the way down the line. Thank you all for being here tonight.
to wear shorts that day. We used to wear bloomers back in 1988. I don't know if you remember, they were the underwear
Yes, ma'am. You're in the Hall of Fame.
that we played in. And Coach fortunately allowed us to wear shorts on picture day and not our underwear. So it was, the hair is awful, but we're in shorts, and so we're so thankful to have that at least instead of what it could have been.
Yes. Well, they were an awesome team, and I'm sorry you all didn't have an opportunity to watch them play. And I'll never forget that day in the gym over here, that last point that was scored. I'm not even really sure who hit the last point, whether it was Sherry Loria. And anyway, I just remember her falling down on the floor, and we were just all jumping and carrying on and carrying on.
So you already had the champagne, though.
No, I didn't.
We had the champagne ready.
No, that was at another school that did that. See, they tell tales. But anyway, it was great. We went down to Miami. Nobody had ever expected us to do anything down there. And I was telling Kelly's mother just a little while ago, I said, I can remember Cookie Stevens standing back over she was standing back over in the wings, shaking her head. Mm-hmm. And there we were winning, and we were winning. And we came up against Schoolcraft, and they beat us, and then Texas Southmost, they beat us, and Schoolcraft beat Texas Southmost. And anyway, 40-3 record. The only match we lost was at the very beginning of the season. We had gone down to Miami-Dade to play in a tournament, and we lost to them down there. And after that, it was all uphill from there. It was awesome. Chemistry was just wonderful. And not that I didn't have to bang some heads every now and then, you know, whatever. But anyway, they had a goal that they set, and they attained it, and now here they are. And thank you again for honoring them tonight.
If we can step in front of the podium, we'll take a picture with them. Being our first team to go into the Hall of Fame, this is a brand new award, and you'll notice it's different than the individual awards, so we're pretty excited to unveil that tonight as well. Jason, can you get one with just them?
When we lost that first match in Miami.
Congratulations, ladies. And listening to Coach talk, it sounds like a proud mother talking about her children. And that's basically what it's all about, too. You know, you think about the college experience, and parents are sending their children away to be with the coach and the team and the whole campus atmosphere in college. And coaches, all the coaches here, you wear so many different hats. You're a coach, you're a mentor, you're a psychiatrist, you're a psychologist, you're pretty much everything that you can imagine to help the college experience go well for the student athlete. And it's really heartwarming to listen to Coach Holloman talk about how proud she is of her now women. If Matt Scarce could join me here. I think it's really wonderful that Mac and Pat get to go into the Hall of Fame together tonight. Teammates and friends continue on. It's just an awesome evening for you both. Congratulations. Mac pitched back-to-back state championships in '68 and '69. He was also a part of the inaugural part of the team that finished runners-up in the nation. Mac earned All-American honors in '69 and still holds the record, the following current records, I should say. Most saves in a career, single season ERA of .486, single season saves of 14. And Coach Wynn was telling me that in '68, he pitched 4 straight games where he struck out the side in all 4 games. Coach Wynn was also telling me that Mac was the best reliever he ever saw. Mac would go on to Florida State, as Pat mentioned, was elected to the Hall of Fame there in 1985. He posted 18 saves in 71, and at that time was a national record. Drafted by the Phillies in 71, he led the team with 12 saves and a 2.42 ERA in 1973. In doing my research, I found that Mac was involved in a 6-player deal to the Mets. And the other player that I thought was pretty significant in that deal at the time was Tug McGraw. He also played for the Twins and played professionally through to 1978. Please welcome our final inductee of the evening, Matt Scarce.
Are you sure you're talking about me? I want to thank everybody that's responsible for the nomination and election of me into the Hall of Fame. Truly an honor, and I thank you. But we all know that this does not happen without having the opportunity to perform. And that opportunity was given to me by Coach Bob Wynn, Skip as we know. And I want to tell you from the bottom of my heart, I thank you very much, sir. You put my life on a different path. Thank you. I'm not going to tell you what year it was, but I was an 18-year-old kid in Richmond, Virginia that had never been out of his zip code and had the opportunity to come down here and play baseball. My parents brought me down here in the middle of August. And I knew that I was not going home until Christmas vacation. 1 hour after my parents left, I was already homesick. I couldn't wait to go back home. But I knew I had 4.5 months before I could do this. I counted the days. Finally, Christmas vacation comes and we get to go home. I get to go home to Richmond, Virginia, where everything is going to be just like it was. And I'll tell you, the second day I was there, I couldn't wait to get back to Manatee Junior College. This set my life in a total different direction than I ever imagined. As was mentioned before, I got my education. I got to play pro baseball. Very fortunate to do that. And I will also say that I've been in the South ever since, never been back up north. I married 2 Southern belles, not at the same time. And my lovely daughter is here, Mandy is here, with her husband, Chad. And my wife is here, Kathy, and she's my soulmate. But I just can't tell you how much I appreciate this. And then coming back here, it just makes me realize how important it was in my life. And forgive me for calling it Manatee Junior College, but that's what it was when I was here. And I thank Manatee Junior College for making it a wonderful life for me. Thank you.
At this time, Coach Wynn would like to come up and say a few words.
Leah said it right when she said I would like to come. I was not on the original agenda for tonight, but after I talked to her on the phone the other night, I got so filled with pride and humility that I was about to bust inside. So I talked to Matt, and they graciously agreed to let me say a few things. Now, I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm just going to ramble with you a little bit. But I'm not worried about busting because I know we've got some nurses over here. And if they don't work, I got a friend over here that knows 911's number. So we'll be okay in that regard. As I said, I'm just going to ramble a little bit. Hope it'll make some sense to you. I'm not going to say a whole lot about these ladies and the two guys that were brought in here as far as athletic prowess is concerned. You can look in here and from what everybody else has said and know that they were all outstanding. But the thing that I want to zero in on, and this is what I've been thinking about, and Dr. Hafner, you kind of stole my thunder a little bit a while ago. The thing I want to zero in on is the student athlete. These people who are here tonight are the absolute epitome of a student athlete. Now, I know Mac and Pat a lot better than I know these ladies, but one of the things that I have always had pride in this college, regardless of what it's called, is the fact that we do have really good academics and we do have really good athletics. Now, as far as Mac and Pat's concerned, as I look back, not just on the athletes, but particularly on the athletes, the way I say it is we have people out in the workaday world, graduates of our program, graduates of various universities around the country, and the best way I know to say it is in everything from art to bone surgery. Folks, that ain't bad. It ain't bad. When you think particularly about a student athlete, these folks are what student athletes are all about. Now, and as I said, I know more about Mac and Pat than I do as far as academics than I do about these other ladies. But Mac and Pat both graduated from here. They both went on to Florida State, graduated from there, and they both are now very successful businessmen in the Atlanta area. We're very, very proud of that. And now, I wasn't going to say anything about the fat boy attitude either, but I will. Those of you who know me know that there are quite a few things floating around that are known as win-isms. Okay? I won't elaborate on many of them. The fat boy attitude is one of those. Now, that sounds like a bad thing, maybe, and I hope I don't get, called on the carpet politically for talking about people who are, a little bit heavy. But the fat boy attitude is really a good thing, and this is my thing, the only foreign language I speak is Georgian. All right? So, what the fat boy attitude is this. To me, and in other sports, you might challenge me a little bit on this, but to me, the greatest challenge that there is, individual challenge that there is in any game, is the matchup between the pitcher and the hitter in baseball. If you don't know that, it's just because you've never been in either one of those two positions. All right, now, if the pitcher toes the rubber, facing that hitter who's standing in the box, and he's thinking, man, I hope I can get this guy out. He's a pretty good hitter. I hope I can get him out. Then he's going to have trouble. And on the other hand, now, at the home plate, the batter is the same way. If he gets in the batter's box and he's facing his pitcher, if he's thinking, man, I hope I can hit this guy, then he's not going to do it. But on the other hand, and going back to the pitcher's mound, if the pitcher's attitude when he toes that rubber is, get in there, fat boy, I'll get you out. You see? Okay, all right, that's what it takes. And then on the other end of it, the hitter, if he walks in the batter's box like this, and he's looking out on that mound and says, bring it on, fat boy, I'm ready. See, okay, that's the thing about the fat boy attitude. That's a good thing, that's a good thing. Pat and Mac, and I had other hitters too. I should have said something about this last year when Johnny Grove was here, but Pat and Mac are an absolute personification of the fat boy attitude. No question about it, no question about it. As Leah said a few minutes ago, Pat, I don't care who it was he was pitching against, from, the sorriest team in the league to potential national champions. I don't care who it was he was pitching against. Every time before he was going to start, he had a little bit of butterflies in his stomach. That's a good thing, folks. That's a good thing. And then the farther he went, the better he got. And as he went along, we're not going to get him out. Well, see, Mac was the same way. I don't think there was a hitter alive that Mac didn't believe he could get out. I know that. And I say this without hesitation. Now, I haven't seen all of the college relievers in my life, in my lifetime. I haven't seen them all, but I've seen a lot of them, and I can tell you this without hesitation. Max Scarce is the best one I've ever seen. No doubt about it. Okay. Now, and I'm taking this on my own, but on behalf of the Hall of Fame committee here, I want to welcome all of you folks that are being inducted tonight into this Hall of Fame. And I don't care what they call it, MJC, MCC, Florida State College, or whatever they call them. I was on the original faculty here. And somewhere, looking back in one of those humanities classes that I didn't sleep through, I remember somewhere along the line, something was said that a rose by any other name is still a rose. Okay? Well, that's the way I feel about this college. This college, by any name, whatever, yesterday, today, and forevermore, this college is a rose and always will be a rose. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Coach Wynn.
I have to interrupt.
Oh,
We just have a thank you for Leah for being here. We really appreciate it. It's just, she's a part of the family, part of our college family, I believe now. Thank you, Leah.
thank you. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I'm a hugger. Everybody deserves 12 hugs every day. Remember that. Thank you so much. It really, I'm honored that you folks have asked me to be here tonight. I'm glad my schedule has allowed me through my travels to get back in time to be here. When I moved down here 18 years ago, I had heard so much about Manatee Community College at the time and how great the athletics were. And I quickly learned, time of year that I came down, I was able to catch some baseball games early and built up a relationship with a senior and was able to follow his team, and I took great pride in that coach. And, I really appreciate the relationship we started to have at that point, and following your team and following your players today. I'm sure many of you folks do that, and then taking my dog over to watch the softball games at night and just following the program here. And it's right, the campus here is beautiful, and what you've done to help out the student athletes and the students in general is just absolutely amazing. It's a great environment. The Hall of Fame festivities continue tomorrow and throughout the weekend. There will be an alumni softball game tomorrow at 10 a.m. and a baseball game at 2 p.m. So it should be a great weekend. It'll be wonderful outside. As we know, we don't have to worry about any snow or rain, so hope to see you all there. Congratulations to the class of 2012. You are all very deserving of the honor. It's been an honor to be here tonight and be part of it. I appreciate it. Go Manatees Athletics, and thank you so much. Have a great night.
Hey, I'm here with Matt Ennis, our athletic director. And Matt, this is a unique year. Not only do we have a couple of baseball players being inducted in the Hall of Fame, but we're having the women's volleyball team inducted, the 1988 women's volleyball team. How unique is that, Matt?
It's the first team we've had get inducted to the Hall of Fame, and we're awfully excited about it. We've had some amazing teams throughout the year and the years, and this team in particular has really set a standard. They were the first team outside of Miami-Dade to win a state championship after Miami-Dade won 19 straight. We won it on the 20th year. So we're pretty darn proud of them. They had a great postseason when they moved on to the national tournament, finished third in the nation. And the two gentlemen entering as baseball players are just outstanding individuals, and we're glad to add to our strong Hall of Fame classes.
Thank you, Matt. That's great. And thank you and your team of employees that staff the athletic department for all the hard work you did. And you just transformed the Korchak Center into this beautiful building this evening.
It's a beautiful facility for us to use, and we have a wonderful staff, and just blessed to have folks that work so hard and believe so much in this program. And we just started one of our favorite evenings of the entire year.
Mine too. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
And I'm here now with Monica Gray Wanis, who is one of the members of our 1988 volleyball team. Monica, can you tell us what's it like being inducted to the Hall of Fame this evening?
Oh, it's a great honor. It brought back a lot of memories thinking about that 1988 volleyball team and just what a great experience it was, and just the wonderful people that I played with and the coaches, and it just brought back a lot of things that I hadn't thought about in years, and it's just such an honor to be back here. I actually haven't even been back here since probably 20 years ago, so it's just a great honor.
Fantastic. Is there anything from, that 1988, championship team year that might stand out in your mind?
Well, it was just a great group of girls and a great camaraderie that we had. We had very special relationships with each other and the coaches, and it was just such a special time. We had heard Coach Holloman, who had been here forever and coached and always had fallen short to beating Miami-Dade in the state championship, and just for us to do it that year was just so huge and such a great memory that we have, and just so wonderful to do that with Coach Holloman and Coach Mack and all those girls.
That's great. I heard you heard Miami-Dade was going for their 20th championship, and your team, the 1988 team, were able to beat them.
Crazy. They had that for, I think Coach had always fallen second to them for so many years, so it was just, they definitely had a dynasty on it, and it was amazing to be able to bring that dynasty down that year.
Wow, that's great. I'm here with Pat Osburn, our 2012 inductee. Pat, it's an absolute honor to have you with us this evening. I was looking at the team here. Can you point yourself out?
Yeah, I'm in this back row here, number 20.
Oh, you're the handsome number 20 guy. Okay, great. Pat, can you tell us what are you feeling tonight? What's it like being inducted into our Hall of Fame?
It was a tremendous experience for me to be here. I transferred from another school here, came and immediately fall practice, came out there. The team, I knew immediately there was an abundance of talent. So I was glad to be here. I knew my mother, who had negotiated with Skip, Coach Wynn, about me coming here, I was so glad I was here. So it was great.
Oh, well, that's outstanding, Pat. Got any fun memories of when you were here? Anything stand out in particular?
Not any particular instance, just how I felt like all the guys who had already been to the World Series the year before, there was probably, I'd say 8 or 10 freshmen who were back as sophomores, but everybody was open arms and basically saying, hey, if you can help us this year, we're glad you're on the team. And I think a lot of teams might have had a different feeling had not they had the personality did. So it was nice to be welcomed, even though I was sort of an outsider.
Wow, Pat, that's great. We're really proud of you, the team, everything you represent, being one of the great business leaders in our community. It's a real honor to have you inducted into this college's Hall of Fame.
Thank you very much. I feel the same way.
I'm here with Max Scarce. He's our 2012 inductee into our College Hall of Fame. What a privilege it is to have you here, Mac. It's just a real pleasure. You know, I know you played some professional baseball.
Right.
Can you tell us anything stand out in your pro years?
Well, I would think back when I played in the early 70s, I played with Steve Carlton, and you know, just watching him pitch and learning from him was a great learning experience for me, him being a mentor. So I would say that was one of the things that was I was lucky and fortunate to be around.
Excellent. Now you were under the tutelage of Coach Wynn, right? What was that like?
What was he like?
Yeah.
Well, he was fair and ran a tight ship. You know, he knew what he wanted to accomplish. He went about his business of getting it done, and we all had to fall in line and make sure we did it his way. That's why we won.
Excellent, excellent. And you also played, let's see, you're right. Can you point yourself out? Right there. And you also played with another inductee, Pat Osburn.
Right here.
Wow, that's great. Any memories of Pat?
Well, Pat and I played, you know, together here, and then we also played together in Florida State, and we roomed together in Florida State. So, and we roomed on the road. So I have a lot of memories with Pat. I guess mainly when we were in the College World Series, our junior year at Florida State. That was such a wonderful experience for us. Pat happened to get hurt out there, but it was still a great experience for us.
Wow, that's phenomenal. It's just great to have you here. We're honored to have you as one of our alumni. We're absolutely privileged to have you inducted in tonight's Hall of Fame.
It's really an honor. Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. I'm here with the famous women's volleyball coach, Sandy Holloman. Sandy coached the team to that 1988 state championship. And I must say, Sandy, you're like a legend around here. I mean, everybody talks about you in the most favorable terms. It's a real honor to have you with us. Can you tell us about maybe some memories from the 88 team?
Well, I really appreciate that, and of course I really enjoyed my years while I was here at Manatee Community College at the time, and of course I have one of my former players here, Lisa Page, and one of the things that I remember about Lisa particularly was we started the season that year. We always had a meeting and we were talking about our goals and what we wanted to achieve, and Lisa was a freshman. I had a lot of freshmen on that team, as a matter of fact, that year, a lot of new people coming in. And it was like, you know, we had been second in the state for years. I mean, you know, we'd come in behind Miami-Dade, and so Lisa, she jumps up or speaks up and she says, well, I can tell you right now, I don't want to be on just another good MCC team. I want to be on the best MCC team. So I said, okay, that's your goal, so that's what we did. And I have to admit that she was a feisty, fiery little thing, and she really made those hitters get the job done, and she told them, she said, if I put that ball up, you better kill it. So wow. She was a pistol for us and a real leader.
That is excellent. Sandy, I have the great pleasure to quite often talk to a lot of alumni from a few years ago, and you know, I'll tell you, everybody talks about you in the best terms I've ever heard. What is it about you?
Well, I guess I just always wanted the best for my players. I wanted them to achieve the best that they could do. I wanted them just to be the best that they could be. And I just have to say, and I'm not Tebow in here, but the Lord has been with me in a lot of things, you know, and He has blessed me with a lot of good players and a lot of good opportunities. And one of those things was, I believe He puts you where you need to be. And way back when in 1965, when Bob Wynn, I interviewed with him, and I came, you know, was given the job here at Manatee Junior College at that time. And, you know, there were no women's sports until the 70s. And then I just had a lot of good players, and like I said, I just believe the Lord always puts you where you need to be. And at a time when I had finished my 30 years here, He took me and put me in another place. And I was at Bevel State for 15, 16 years, and now I am I'm in my hometown in Fed, Alabama, and He has now put me with working with club team. And I'm still coaching volleyball. I play a lot of golf, and I spend a lot of time with my great nieces and nephews.
Wow, that's absolutely phenomenal. Lisa, any comments on your coach?
I've never played for anybody better than Coach Holloman. Just hard coach to play for, in the sense that she expected more out of us than we could have expected out of ourselves. And like she said, she was put in a place at the time that we needed her, and we were blessed to have somebody as good as her to get us where we needed to be in 1988.
Great. Hi, my name's Roland Emerson. I'm on the Intercollegiate Athletic Committee, and I'm here this evening for the 2012 Hall of Fame induction ceremony. I'm here with Dr. Stephen Korchak, former president of the college. Dr. Korchak, can you give us a few remarks on this Hall of Fame evening?
Well, I think it's good for a couple of reasons, Roland. I think it's nice to recognize our former athletes at the college for the contributions they made to the college. But I think more importantly, I think everyone that's been inducted in the Hall of Fame have really done well in their professional life. I think a lot of that goes back to Bob Wynn primarily and Timmy eventually, where they not only put out good baseball players, they put out good people. So I think it's nice to recognize people that have done well here, but like I say, more importantly, really been successful in life.
Oh, that's great, Dr. Korchak. We're so pleased you're here tonight. We're in the building named for you.
Yeah, that's why I'm real good, because I don't want them to take my name off.
Well, we're really proud that you came tonight and to share this important time with these great athletes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I'm here now with our former athletic director, George Sanders. George, you've come to some of our annual Hall of Fame events. What brings you back each year?
Well, the first thing, Roland, is the opportunity to be back and to just share time with the people that are here. I was very fortunate to be chosen for the inaugural class. Unbeknownst to me, after picking the inaugural class as part of my tenure here, and this is a special event for the college, it's a special event for the athletic department, and it's a special event for us who have an opportunity to share being in the Hall of Fame with new inductees, and just to get to see old faces and old friends, and to be back on campus for those types of things.
Wow, that's phenomenal, George. Thank you so much. I mean, you're like a legend around here. I hear your name tossed around all the time. People speak so fondly of you. We're always happy to see you, and thank you so much for coming back.
Well, I appreciate it. It's a great thing, and to couple this with the alumni game tomorrow, to get a chance to see people. This is actually my 25th year in the system. The volleyball team that's being honored tonight was my second year here, so I worked with these people that came in, and to be associated with Coach Holloman, these ladies now, young girls at the time, and the college itself is just a good memory, and it's fun to be part of, and I appreciate being asked to come back.
Oh, thank you, George. We appreciate having you.
All right, thank you, Roland.
Thank you. Hey, I'm pleased to be here tonight with Leah Secondo. Leah is going to be tonight's MC. And Leah, could you tell us a little bit about you and what it's like being here this evening at our Hall of Fame induction ceremony?
Well, first of all, it's an honor to be here tonight. You have so many athletes, just in overall of the entire program here at the college, that I didn't understand it when I moved here 18 years ago, but I quickly learned, attending some baseball games and softball games and volleyball games, that it's just an area of rich tradition, and the college is extremely committed, and you can see that when you walk around campus, and having the student athlete excel in the classroom and on the field. My background, I'm from Connecticut originally, but this is home now for me. I travel around the country. I announce sporting events around the country, pretty much for all the major conferences on the Big Ten Network, ESPN, and Fox in their regional status, all different sports. I'm proud that these days, women's sports, we're seeing a lot more on TV, and I'm involved with that quite a bit.
That's great. You know, we're real pleased this evening. We're inducting our 1988 women's volleyball team, won the state championship, and you played some sports in college, right? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I did, actually. I grew up at a time, pretty much the same time as these young ladies, and but I ended up playing. I had made the softball team at, the field hockey team at Southern Connecticut State University, but ice hockey was my passion, and our team I traveled on was a traveling team at the time, and we traveled around the country, and we finished 5th in the nation twice. We were state champions in Connecticut several times during that period.
Wow, and just one more quick question. I mean, you're highly regarded not only in this community but throughout the country. What are some of the things you took from sports that kind of made you who you are today?
Well, I think the biggest thing is the fact that you have to build as a team. And in talking to Coach Sandy Holloman, the big thing that she said about her team that's being inducted tonight is the fact that they had great chemistry and worked together. And I think many of the things that we learned in sports, whether it was individual sports that I played or team sports, you have to work as a team and as a unit, and you take that into the work field as you progress in life.
Wow, that's outstanding. Leah, thank you for doing this evening. Can't wait to hear your remarks a little bit later on, but we're very pleased to have you here with us. Thank you.
My pleasure.
It's a real pleasure to introduce Mr. Harry Kinnan. He's one of our first inductees in the Hall of Fame, former basketball coach at this college, now on the chairman of the Manatee School Board, real pro when it comes to education. Mr. Kinnan, can you tell us a little bit about what tonight means to you?
Oh, I think it's special to me and to everybody that's here. The history of then Manatee Community College, now the State College of Florida Athletics, is a long and storied one. And we've had great teams, great coaches, great players. And I think when they started in '06 to honor those, I think it was a wonderful way to memorialize some of the great people and some of the great things that have happened. So I think this is a special night for all of us, for the community, and it's certainly great to be a part of this great institution.
Gosh, thank you so much, Mr. Kinnan. It's an honor to have you join us this evening.
Thank you for asking.